Okay, so it's time to start. Thank you for attending today's webinar. Today's webinar topic is digital health regulatory and reimbursement frameworks for health tech professionals. So we have several agenda to discuss today. And so I'm going to start slide mode first and then start. Okay, so we're going to talk about several agenda. The first, I'm going to talk about what is software as a medical device and AI ML-enabled medical device FDA regulatory frameworks. And then I'm going to talk about FDA approval, SAMD, and AI ML-enabled medical device landscape and digital health product FDA regulatory frameworks. And then we're going to talk about digital health coding coverage password as a part of the reimbursement frameworks. And then we are going to talk about the comparison between the US and other country, for example, South Korea and Germany. So for the details, I prepared several one, but I'm going to go over very detail only for the essential part. And I'm going to share this webinar with a link to the recording after this webinar. So I will let you know that, you can find out the recording. Also, I'm going to post this presentation in my LinkedIn. So I will let you know through email or in LinkedIn, and then I will let you know that and you can find out this content. So so basically, I'm going to talk about understanding and software as a medical device, SAMD, and what is the example of that, and then type and category of the AI/ML-enabled devices. And then going to talk about how they can be integrated medical devices and what is meant by the FDA regulatory framework for the AI/ML-enabled medical devices and FDA approval AI and enabled medical device landscape. So I'm to show that what the actually listed in the FDA side, the current status. And I'm sure something that interesting is that this traditionally the tech giant, not in healthcare, actually they have some product actually FDA approved in the category of the AML enabled medical devices. And medical devices under FDA scrutiny. So what kind of medical device actually the FDA looking at their safety and then their like efficacy, something like that. And then I'm going to talk about a specific example that I've looked at this listed product, and then I just look at particularly the cardiovascular healthcare cases. And then what is meant by the regularly complied software medical device as a life cycle management, what is meant by to you, and understanding regulation complied software medical life cycle management. And I'm going to talk about what the current state of the digital health ecosystem. And based on this, and then I'm going to talk about digital health as a product and then what you need FDA regulatory framework and understanding that this product is how you actually doing that in the regulatory password. And then I'm going to talk about LEMA's framework. So one is coding and the other is coverage. And I'm going to talk about what is meant by in the global standard and then what with the future and then what should we go about. Okay, so as I told you before that I'm going to share this presentation so you can look at details. So here that why I say about SAMD before I talk about digital health product because this SAMD is like a regulatory term. So it's some legal meaning, right? What we talk about digital health product they are like, for example, everybody have some meaning of the what is this has product, but some people have this meaning, some people have this meaning, right? Depending on their function, application, whatever, right? So that can be changes, right? So if we say like these are therapeutics or these are diagnostics or remote patient monitoring, the body, and then that's not the legal term. Actually, that's the industry accepted term among the professionals, but this is a legal term, right? Because it's a set up by some international standard organization type or the government regulation body, so that you should be clearly understand the meaning is different, right? Because so SAMD by definition of the IMDIF and the FDA is a software with a medical function, right? So it's a software, but it's not just a software. It is working independently from hardware. So that's very important. And one thing that very, very important concept is it includes in vitro diagnostic software. So it can be to their target, like is the life science target, like some is a biology or something like that. So somebody is different, right? And so, what is the example? You can think about all kind of like a device, right? A medical device, either like a diagnostics and then like a imaging, or you can think about in the whole the medical space, medical function, right? So I'm not going to detail, but you can think about a lot of the example of but they are all software. And and then additionally, this AI ML-enabled device is also a legal term, right? Because it's defined by usually this term is defined by the FDA. So for their proposed, they're like a regulatory framework to like, for example, the oversight to this type of device. So this is a term, legal term. So there are many digital health product service actually within this scope, but they have a different meaning, right? But they include in all as a AI ML enabled device. Means that this is the device, actually the AI ML is a very, very like a crucial law, right? And then their function is depending on their proposed, right? Medical function, like whether they are diagnostics, therapeutics, like a prognosis, like a preventive health or the patient monitoring device. But anyway, the term is that the AI ML is a key component of this medical device. So this is defined there. And then type of that, you can think about many things, right? Because even the robotic surgery assistant is one of the type of this one. It's the AI is a significant load here. And why the FDA to think about the special term why AI ML integrate into medical device because they have a medical device. The traditional term is a hardware or software. Like SAMD is a software, and the traditional word is a hardware, right? Or system, what they integrate. And then sometimes the software is integrated into the hardware system. So in that case, they call software in hardware, software in device, right? Is a different from the software as a device, right? Software as a SAMD is a software itself is a medical device. Software in the device means that they are included in the system or the hardware, right? So they are dependent on the system, right? So why they? Because the AI ML's characteristic, once they integrate into the medical device, they can change the function, right? Because there are several ways you can they can upgrade or they can be iteratively continuously promoting. Sometimes they're changing the completely different way, right? It's very similar to you find out that some drug in the like a drug invention or something like that, the same thing. Initially, you find a drug, some drug material for this purpose, but you find that later for there will be like effective to other like application that they find out is a new invention. It is very similar to, but in this case, AI is a law. So the AI is integrated into medical device. Is that means that the new data real time, they continuously improving the performance and what that mean? because in the regulatory framework, FDA actually the initial stage of the clearance, although like to approve, actually for example that I'm going to talk about, you file for example 510(k), right? And then what they're doing is they are compared with some similar, very similar product out there already approved, right? And then so they compare one by one into like a functionality, so they are fixed, right? Once approved, you don't need to do anything after that. But the problem in here is that even you have approval, right? There will be change, right? Even after the so FDA want to like oversight the through the like a lifetime of your product, even if once approved, they will be dynamically changed. So they want to be to guarantee that the initial like a scrutiny that they will approve that their safety and efficacy is enough to be approved by FDA, but it will be can change later. So they want to assure that it keep the same criteria, same level of the like a safety and like efficacy they want. So they adopted a total product life cycle regulatory framework, or TPLC. So this is a key term to have in mind that. So this is one thing that if you think about your product, it's within the category of the FDA clearance required, it depending on your proposal. But anyway, because they are medical function, right? They will under the FDA scrutiny. And then you should be thinking about this total product life regulatory framework at the time of development, not post production, right? You should consider at the time of your develop your product. You think about have in mind that if you think about you are under FDA scrutiny, this is a very key concept you have in mind that, and then I'm going to explain later. So I just developed some video that actually to deliver the what is AAML enabled medical device for regulatory framework for the very something very easy to understand level. So
imagine the world of AI, where machines don't just assist in healthcare, they learn, adapt, and get better over time, much like a doctor improving with experience. But, just like with doctors, trust is critical. We trust that a healthcare device, even one powered by AI, will continue to be safe, effective, and reliable. This is where the FDA comes in, acting as both a guide and a gatekeeper. Their regulatory framework is designed to ensure that as these AI/ML-enabled devices evolve, they do so safely and responsibly, without cutting corners or jeopardizing patient well-being. At the heart of this framework is the Total Product Life Cycle, TPLC, approach, which governs everything from the device's initial creation to its ongoing performance in the real world. With this approach, the FDA ensures that innovation does not happen at the expense of patient safety. But this is a balancing act. AI devices are constantly learning, which makes them different from traditional medical tools. They improve over time, and their algorithms might even change based on new data. The framework allows these changes to happen smoothly through mechanisms like the Predetermined Change Control Plan, PCCP. This plan gives manufacturers the freedom to update their AI systems without needing a new approval every time, as long as the changes follow certain predefined guidelines. It's like letting the AI grow smarter, but making sure it's still playing by the rules. Take diagnostic devices as an example. Tools like Brain Scan CT, which uses AI to detect brain lesions from CT scans, or IDR, an FDA-approved tool for diagnosing diabetic retinopathy, show how AI can transform healthcare. These tools don't just rely on human judgment, they analyze medical data, often providing more accurate and timely results. But they also need continuous validation, not only before they reach the market but after they've been deployed. The FDA mandates rigorous clinical trials and good machine learning practices, GMLP, to ensure these devices maintain their accuracy and safety even as they learn from more data. Then, We have regulatory pathways like 510K for devices that are similar to existing ones or de novo classification for novel, moderate risk devices. And for devices that involve higher stakes, like robotic surgery assistants, the FDA requires the more rigorous pre-market approval, PMA, pathway. The FDA's AI/ML action plan takes this a step further. It's a vision of how continuously learning AI systems can be integrated into healthcare without compromising safety. This plan emphasizes real-world monitoring, ensuring that AI/ML devices remain safe and effective throughout their life cycle. Moreover, international harmonization comes into play here. The FDA collaborates with international regulators like Health Canada and the MHRA in the UK to align global standards, ensuring that AI/ML-enabled devices maintain consistent safety and efficacy across borders. This global effort helps manufacturers navigate regulations in different countries and deploy these life-saving technologies more seamlessly around the world. At the end of the day, the FDA's framework for regulating AI/ML-enabled devices is about ensuring that healthcare technology moves forward, but always with patient safety as the North Star. As AI continues to evolve, so too will the regulatory framework that governs it, an ongoing partnership between innovation and protection.
Okay, so you understand what is meant by this total life cycle management under FDA scrutiny. And so this is just some statistics. So you can see this list in the FDA list. And then currently they post 950 approved devices. And then for example, they divide by the medical specialty. So most of them are radiology. You can think of like a CT image, the diagnostics, application, many things like this is the one thing that in AI is much popular in like deep learning. Usually the deep learning is good for this kind of like image processing. So radiology and cardiovascular and urology, something like that. So mostly is radiology currently. And then look at this one that I just made it one, and then I will look at who is the dominant player in here. So mostly in the big player like G Healthcare, G Men's Healthcare, something like that. You know the name, the key player. But I found the startup sort of key player in here. And I just fun to like I just curious because for me actually I was in this space actually I was in 30 years in usually a high-tech area. So these companies mostly I'm familiar with. And then I was very curious about how they actually come into this space because usually that for example, there are a lot of the like medical the digital health product, nothing to do with any like FDA clearance because there is a like a well-being app or something like that. But this is one actually they have they into the like in the regulated domain is Apple and Microsoft, Samsung. It's not traditional in the healthcare. So I just look at what they are looking at this business opportunity in here. So actually their goal is to utilizing their device, usually their wearable device, body, and their platform for the Microsoft. And then they want to be more serious about in a more deeper level of the like a medicine area, not just a traditional well-being. So this is one new trend I found. And the other thing is I just compare. So this is one that I want to make clear that so under FDA scrutiny that they can divide it by several types. For example, they are purely SAMD, right? So they are purely software and purely hardware, right? And then they are in between, right? But another thing is that whether AI ML integrate or not, right? So there are several ways actually, that depending on the type, right? It's a purely software, traditional hardware system, or AI involved. So their regulatory path and you're preparing this regulatory pathway is different. And then you have in mind that depending on your product, right? So what kind of thing is the best for you is depending on what kind of like a product you are targeting, right? And then you understand this regulatory pathway, right? So this one is just so you can look at detail. Okay, so I just look at the particularly because I cannot see 950 like individual everyone. So I just decided to the targeting one cardiovascular. I found that their amenable number is around 96 something like that. So I look at the individual one, and then I found some trend. So
AI-powered medical devices for cardiovascular healthcare. Current status and future directions. Today, we embark on a journey through one of the most transformative forces in healthcare, AI. With over 950 FDA-approved AI, ML-enabled medical devices as of August 2024, cardiovascular healthcare is a rapidly growing segment, representing 97 devices across decision support, monitoring, and remote care. We're witnessing a paradigm shift from reactive to proactive, personalized, and predictive care. Let's dive into where we stand today, and where we're headed, through some remarkable real-world use cases and future innovations. Current status: a landscape of innovation. The cardiovascular healthcare sector is witnessing an accelerated transformation, driven by the proliferation of AI, ML-powered medical devices. This growth is underpinned by two categories: software as a medical device, SAMDs, standalone software solutions that deliver diagnostic insights and clinical decision support without being tied to a specific hardware device. Software in a medical device, CMDs, AI-powered software integrated directly into traditional hardware devices to enhance their functionality, bridging the gap between cutting-edge AI and conventional clinical tools. Key applications today in AI, ML-enabled cardiovascular devices. As the landscape of AI, ML-powered cardiovascular devices continues to evolve, key applications are emerging to enhance clinical decision-making, patient monitoring, and remote care. Let's explore these applications in detail to understand how they are transforming the delivery of cardiovascular healthcare. Decision support tools: 51 devices aiding clinicians by analyzing complex patient data and generating actionable insights. Monitoring: 33 devices ensuring continuous and real-time patient observation. Remote patient monitoring, RPM: 10 devices enabling home-based care. Electronic stethoscopes, empowering remote auscultation, bridging clinical expertise and telemedicine. Now, let's explore some real-world examples of these applications. Use cases: AI in action today. Advanced imaging and coronary assessments. HeartFlow FFR-CT analyzes coronary artery disease, CAD, through non-invasive simulations, offering detailed insights into blood flow and pressure. Impact: with these insights, clinicians can plan interventions in real time, optimizing patient outcomes while reducing invasive procedures. Continuous ECG monitoring for proactive care. Zio Biorhythm leverages AI to detect arrhythmias through continuous ECG monitoring, ensuring early intervention. Impact: patients no longer need to be hospitalized to monitor transient arrhythmias. Remote care ensures faster diagnosis and better outcomes. Wearables empowering patients. Apple Watch and Samsung ECG monitor apps notify users about irregular heart rhythms, such as atrial fibrillation, AFib. Impact: these wearables bridge the gap between consumer tech and clinical care, encouraging users to proactively monitor their heart health. Decision support in critical care settings. Rothman Index uses AI to aggregate vitals, nursing assessments, and lab data, predicting patient deterioration in ICUs and wards. Clue ICU system further enhances critical care by forecasting hemodynamic instability with predictive algorithms. Impact: these tools empower clinicians with early warning systems, improving patient safety and optimizing workflows. AI-augmented diagnostics for heart failure and CAD Core Vista analyzes physiological signals to detect pulmonary hypertension and coronary disease, supporting non-invasive diagnosis. FF Rangio by CathWorks provides flow metrics from angiography data, enhancing decision-making for CAD treatment. Future directions: the next frontier in cardiovascular AI. Where do we go from here? Let's fast forward to the future of cardiovascular healthcare. 1. Personalized and predictive healthcare. Imagine adaptive monitoring systems that learn from patient-specific behaviors, providing continuous insights into cardiac health. Example: Physique's platform identifies subtle changes that predict heart failure events based on individualized baselines. Next step: Future AI will synthesize multiple data streams, ECG, oxygen levels, and physical activity, enabling care plans tailored to the unique physiology of every patient. 2. Real-time decision support systems with multi-modality integration. The next generation of diagnostics will integrate ECG, phonocardiogram, PCG, and imaging data to deliver seamless, comprehensive assessments. Example, imagine merging the HeartFlow platform's imaging capabilities with AI-powered stethoscopes like Echo devices for in-depth, real-time diagnostics. Future impact, automated plaque characterization, virtual angioplasty guidance, and personalized treatment planning will become standard practice. 3. The rise of autonomous remote patient monitoring, RPM platforms will evolve to independently manage conditions like hypertension and heart failure, aided by virtual assistants for remote rehabilitation. Next step, AI will detect early signs of deterioration and alert both patients and providers, allowing proactive interventions from home. Impact, remote care will no longer be supplementary, it will be the primary mode of chronic disease management. 4. Advanced wearables for comprehensive health monitoring. Wearables will monitor complex cardiovascular parameters such as ejection fraction and hemodynamic stability. Example, future iterations of the Apple Watch will detect subtle heart abnormalities, syncing data with hospital systems for real-time alerts. Behavioral nudges. AI will also offer personalized health recommendations based on daily activity patterns, promoting healthier lifestyles to reduce cardiovascular risks. 5. AI in catheter and interventional procedures. AI will soon automate electrophysiology mapping for catheter ablation, reducing procedure times and improving precision. Next step, imagine AI-powered augmented reality, AR, guiding cardiologists during stent placements, enhancing both efficiency and outcomes. 6. Real-time learning and explainable AI, XAI. AI systems will continuously evolve as new data is fed into them, becoming smarter over time. However, clinicians need to trust these tools. Next step, explainable AI frameworks will ensure transparency, helping providers understand AI-generated recommendations and maintain clinical oversight. 7. Integration with digital therapeutics, DTX. AI-powered platforms will merge with digital therapeutics to manage chronic conditions and offer behavioral health coaching. Example, Signal HF already offers alerts for heart failure. In the future, it will coach patients on lifestyle adjustments based on real-time health metrics. 8. Privacy First AI. Federated learning and blockchain data privacy will be at the core of future AI developments. Federated learning will allow AI models to learn across multiple institutions without centralizing data, protecting patient privacy. Impact, blockchain technologies will further ensure data integrity, facilitating secure RPM platforms and cross-institutional collaboration. A vision for the future of cardiovascular care. In this evolving landscape, ML-powered cardiovascular devices are transforming care delivery, from wearables that empower patients to decision support tools that enhance clinical workflows. The future lies in integrated care platforms that proactively manage health, seamlessly connecting home and hospital settings. Predictive analytics, personalized care, and real-time learning systems will become the new standard. Imagine a world where heart failure patients are managed entirely from their homes, where AI detects subtle warning signs before symptoms appear, and where clinicians are supported by tools that continuously learn and provide insights at every step. With AI at the heart of this transformation, we are moving from reactive to proactive healthcare, creating a future where cardiovascular disease is not only manageable but preventable.
Okay, so next, I'd like to explain a little bit about what is meant by the software medical device lifecycle management. As I told you before, that under FDA regulation, actually they want to looking at in the total life cycle of their approved product. But in this case, this is just purely SAMD, not the AI ML integrated. So actually, just put in here to make you clearly understand. And then later, you should be understand if you include AI ML to the SAMD. So AI ML enabled software medical device that will be different, and then regular password will be different. So you should be understand this process first. So actually, this is from the there was a international like a framework for this kind of one, usually the ISO type. So I'm not going to detail about, but there is a free regulatory consideration. So this is a one life cycle. You develop product and then go to market and launching the commercial and then and test it and then and reiterate or something like that. So this is the whole life cycle of your product from the start to end. So you should understand this one because why you need to understand because so if you think about to develop or to commercialize your innovation, and then you should understand well how actually can be more systematic way to develop, and then so well prepared to like a pathway, right? Because to regulate the pathway or like some other thing like real life evidence creation or something like this. So you can just look at this one, and then I don't want to play this one because but I make my best effort to include all the steps that I in here. So here is a video link. So I recommend you to look at what is meant by the life cycle management. And this is just something that I work on for a year that I look at the like a whole scope the digital health landscape. And I look at about the more than 1,000, and then I just select recently around the 500 to more detail level. So I look at the whole startup in each company individually, what their business, innovation, product, technology, patent, and even their fundraising, their executive, and then what their market, and then what their clinical trials, or what their like regulatory like approval, and then reimbursement. So I look at the whole. I want to understand the whole scope of the scope of the current status, and then from that actually I can find out whatever the future direction. So I look at the medical diagnosis, DTX and RPM, and telemedicine, home care, and clinical trial, and ultimately and drug discovery. So I'm not going to detail. You can look at this one. And actually develop everything. And this is one thing. So I just make example that based on you understand what is meant by the FDA regulatory framework, and then you can think about it, two terms actually that you have whether they are SAMD, so they are software device, or they include AML enable function, right? So depending on that, so you can think about DTX. There is a definition, right? And then oh, okay, so oh, I made something. So I wanna change this one. I will change this. This should be digital diagnostics. So this is a diagnostics, and this is therapeutics. So I will change this one. So this is a diagnosis and DTX and remote patient monitoring case that we know about their definition. For example, that DTX means evidence-based therapeutic intervention delivered digitally to test and manage and prevent medical condition, right? So for me, actually, I look at for the DTX, I look at detail. So I know about their patents and their product and their innovation. So this is something that even the professional confused about whether DTX is a part of the SAM or something like that. Yeah, mostly, right? But sometimes not, right? Because sometimes they also have the integrate with the device. Some product actually that they integrate with another sensors or something like that. So they are not. If you think of a DTX product itself, they're mostly software. So they think of it as a software app type to deliver, but sometimes not, right? So you have a clear mind that that's why I divide by that. It's a traditional hardware system, is a software as a medical device, and AI ML involved, right? So do not just like the freak fix like DTEX is a software as a medical device. No, because depending on your product, right? So that's what I want to deliver, right? This is a take home that you should have in mind that have some more flexible mind that not fixed one, right? So depending on the product, so either SAMD or the traditional hardware system, a combination, or they included the AI. So you should look at this one. I will correct this one and I will share later. But one thing that is AI ML components. So what do you have? So traditional regulatory password is a 510K and 510K, or it depending on the risk, whether it's a level 1, 2, 3. So usually level 1, 2, they don't require like a pre-market approval, but it's a level 3 high risk, and then you need a pre-market approval also. And then sometimes it's a new then completely de novo. But among the 910 medical device, actually, the very rarely only few is a de novo. It's mostly 510K. So you should think about whether they are SA conference and then AML conference. So additional complication, and then you think about whatever your FDA like a pathway you should be through, right? So this is one my proposal is doing that is to depending on your product and the function and what the component you include, your regulatory pathway will be different. Okay, so this is one thing that you can look at it.
Let me take you on a journey through the FDA's regulatory frameworks for digital health products in an era where AI, machine learning, and advanced software solutions are redefining patient care. The shift in healthcare, digital products take the lead in healthcare's fast-evolving landscape. Digital products like AI/ML enhanced diagnostics, digital therapeutics, DTX, and remote patient monitoring, RPM, are revolutionizing how we approach diagnosis, treatment, and patient engagement. But with innovation comes responsibility. For these products to be brought to market safely, they must comply with stringent FDA regulatory frameworks that safeguard both patient outcomes and clinical reliability. Digital diagnostic products, the cutting edge of precision. Picture this, an AI-powered system that analyzes patient data in seconds and delivers insights that could mean the difference between early detection and a misdiagnosis. This is the promise of digital diagnostic tools like IDR for diabetic retinopathy or brain scan CT for imaging analysis. These innovations offer unprecedented potential, but they also come with high regulatory scrutiny. Regulatory pathways. What to know when a product claims to be substantially equivalent to an existing device. It can apply for a 510K pre-market notification. But what if there's no existing product to compare it to? In that case, the de novo pathway is necessary for novel diagnostics. For high-risk systems, especially those relying on advanced AI algorithms, pre-market approval, PMA, may be required. The stakes are high, and each pathway ensures that devices meet safety and efficacy standards. Clinical validation and risk. Digital diagnostics directly impact clinical decisions, meaning errors could lead to misdiagnoses or delayed treatments. Therefore, robust clinical trials are crucial. Developers must prove diagnostic accuracy, often measured through sensitivity and specificity, ensuring that systems perform reliably in real-world settings. Moreover, the AI/ML component requires ongoing FDA oversight through tools like the Predetermined Change Control Plan, PCCP, to allow for algorithm updates without constant reapprovals. Digital therapeutics, DTX, software meets.
Okay, so for other products, you can look at my video. So I share the link in here. So I'll talk about that what the regulatory password for the SAMD, and then what happened that they include, and I saw you that what the lifecycle management for the SAMD, but I didn't talk about how about they include also like AML components. So for example, the FDA AML enabled assay lifecycle management framework. Actually, I don't have the time to look at it, but I already analyzed this situation and then developed my own way to diagram whatever. So I'm going to present this one in later. So I will explain that why I'm doing this one later. Right. So for the topic for the reimbursement. Actually, I'm not an expert in reimbursement, but I'm interested in some reason, because I need to understand what is mean by this regulatory, and after the regulatory, and what is by reimbursement, because usually reimbursement is required because someone in the healthcare system, the different from the other industries, so there is the separate entity, say called the payers, like insurance company or the employer. They pay for the patient or some people, right? So in that case, actually, you need to little bit understand about what the current system, right? And then what should you do based on this knowledge, that depending on how actually you can develop your product or how can use it, right? That's my propose, right? Just looking at like there are two coding system, like HCPCS and CPT code. What they're doing is a billing and reimbursement. So for example, you have you see the doctor, right? And doctor diagnose something, and then they make a treatment plan for you, and then they prescribe something to you, right? For example, they provide like something related to like a drug, you can have it, or some medical device, you can have it, or home care, whatever. But in that case, actually, they already have this billing code, and then they already have a communication with the health insurance company to the coverage that I'm going to talk about next. And then so actually they provide this information as a part of their prescription, and it will include that, and then they will reimburse by this way. So this is the purpose of the unit, this kind of like HCPCS and PCT code. And then particularly that for the interest in the digital health space is this kind of like a new technology case, and then not well established. There is a temporary reimbursement for the new technology case. So there was one case for the AI to like VGAI, LBO software as a benefit for this. And then another thing is RTM is well developed. For they have a several type of code you can use. And then there was something that in the digital therapeutic is very early stage. This is a recently developed like HCPCS code for the mental health care DTX. So this is a new thing. And then how the coverage, right? Once you have a code, you claim that how much, what the scope actually, they will also like negotiate with the insurance coverage company or whatever. So in that case, actually, there are a lot of the like tools to you can have it, but the one thing that for the DTX is the ones you can have a durable medical equipment, and there are many like players in the telehealth. You have a lot of the coverage already have in this space. And then for new technology coverage, MCIT is one example you can look at it. And then what happened that for example that I've heavily like focused on digital therapeutics area, and there are a lot of the people talk about that. Oh, is the difficulty is like a DTX in the early state is that unless they have covered by insurance, it will be very difficult to adopt in the traditional main healthcare, right? One reason is because of the this kind of like a framework difference between the United States and our country. For example, in the United States is a regulatory approval, nothing to do with the issue like a guarantee of the reimbursement by the CMS or private insurance, right? So, for example, the one example, FDA breakthrough device designation, that actually the intention is the FDA guarantee that you will have a reimburse, but actually the real life situation is not. So for example, this company actually I analyzed better is this company actually try to do reimburse their like the XR basis the DTX app, but actually is end up being only for the durable medical equipment is in combination with their device. So this is one example that why it is difficult in the United States is a new innovation. But in Europe, for example, Germany and France, even South Korea, that I'm going to give you some snapshot of the South Korea in later, they're integrated framework. So they are in the under FDA, like their regulated pathway, and then Lima's pathway is very integrated. So once you have, for example, DIGA is one good. So that's why the Germany, there are a lot of DTX company actually already included in their prescription pathway. So they can use like a traditional pathway to get the prescription. So this is one example. In France, I don't know about the UK, but they will be made similar in European country. So South Korea, I think that I recommend to see this video because this is run by one of the South Korean company MDREX. So this is a very similar, right? 'Cause they have for the D-Star AI-based innovation technology medical device, they even shorten the pathway and the combining product approval limits. Yeah, we envy them, but they have a different system. So this is the situation. So
Digital Health Reimbursement Framework. Navigating the path to adoption and innovation today. I invite you to join me on a journey through the intricate landscape of digital health reimbursement. Our destination is where regulatory approvals and payment frameworks converge, or sometimes conflict, shaping the adoption of breakthrough technologies. Imagine innovations like AI-powered diagnostics, remote patient monitoring, RPM, or prescription digital therapeutics, PDTs, becoming integral to healthcare. But here's the twist. No matter how groundbreaking these tools are, reimbursement frameworks are the critical gears that determine whether they thrive or stall in practice. Our mission today is to explore how these frameworks are built, the challenges they present, and how we can navigate them strategically to unlock innovation. The digital health coding pathway. Unlocking innovation through reimbursement codes. Let's begin with a real-world scenario. Picture this. A cardiologist working in a remote rural clinic monitors her patient's heart condition in real time using RPM technology. The patient, equipped with a connected device, transmits live data directly to the doctor's dashboard. This remote care model prevents unnecessary hospitalizations and gives the doctor precise, real-time insights to adjust treatment. But here's the catch. Without a reimbursement framework, the clinic might struggle to keep using RPM, no matter how effective it is. This brings us to the digital health coding pathway, the lifeline connecting technology with payment systems. The foundation. Codes and bundled payment models in healthcare. Coding is more than just data entry, it's the essential passport to reimbursement. Every service, procedure, or technology must have the correct HCPCS or CPT codes to unlock payments. But reimbursement is becoming even more streamlined with bundled payment models. These models combine related services into one consolidated payment, shifting the focus from individual fees to value-driven care. Example: a hospital that integrates AI diagnostics with RPM technology receives one bundled payment through Medicare's Prospective Payment System, PPS. This structure not only reduces administrative workload but encourages the efficient use of technology across patient care. Temporary support through NTIP. Easing the cost of new technologies. Imagine being a hospital administrator evaluating an AI-powered diagnostic tool that could revolutionize stroke triage, but the upfront cost is intimidating. This is where new technology add-on payments, NTAP, step in to ease the financial burden during the early adoption phase. Case study. In 2019, Eyes LVO stroke triage software became the first AI tool to receive NTIP approval. This decision signaled CMS's commitment to driving AI adoption in healthcare. 2024 update. To receive NTIP support, technologies must secure FDA clearance by May 1st of the application year, ensuring both safety and effectiveness before reimbursement is granted. Outcome. NTIP provides a safety net for hospitals, enabling them to adopt transformative technologies without destabilizing their finances during the initial phase. RPM and RTM. Expanding care beyond the hospital walls. Healthcare is no longer confined to hospitals, thanks to the rise of RPM and RTM, remote therapeutic monitoring. Both models are becoming essential for managing chronic conditions through remote care. RPM coding overview. CPT 99453 covers device setup and patient education. CPT 99454 reimburses for data collection, at least 16 days per 30-day period. CPT 99457 and 99458 provide monthly payments for patient management. RTM coding. CPT 98980 and 98981 track adherence and monitor symptoms, especially for musculoskeletal conditions. What's new in 2024? CMS now allows FQHCs and RHCs to bill for RPM and RTM services using HCPCS code G0511,
and therapists can now offer RTM without direct supervision, expanding access to care. Prescription digital therapeutic.
Okay, so I recommend to see my video for further details. So I finish up. Someone actually they ask me why I'm doing this one. Actually, the reason is that I developed a series of the webinar to share my insight and also communicate with the peers in the digital health industry. The reason is that here is the one thing actually that I have some purpose, right? I'm touched, like for example, how to integrate healthcare system workflow. And then I talked about before that how actually that you can do like some like life cycle management if for the DTX, if in case that you are including AI ML enabled term in the traditional like life cycle management. And then it's like I'm also like we have like a clinical trial and precision drug discovery integration. But actually I've talked about was how to integrate digital trial, clinical trials plus DTX development. So the motivation, strong motivation is I just look at the like DTX industry for a year, and then during that period, actually what happened is that I found something very interesting is that the some of the company actually successfully go pathway all the like commercialization and even the IPO, but after the IPO, actually, they bankrupt, right? Because peer therapeutics and better therapeutics and actually all. So I found that what happened was something is so I just diagnosed that based on my 30 years experience in other industry that as I've seen that the new technology business coming out and then through the like adoption cycle, whatever hype cycle, in the like a pathway and through the like a mainstream like a business market, right? So I just look at that, and then I found that what will be the solution for this situation. That I just make something that for myself that what will be the solution for this situation. So I just make like adoption, cost, and regulatory navigation, and sustainable investment and scalable integration is a topic. So then I think about what can I do, right? So I just developed a series of the webinar actually to try to communicate with other people and make to for myself actually clear understand what the situation and that they are integrated. And then my solution is that, and then actually I can contribute is first that I've seen in our industry to be like a clearly generate revenue and then sustainable ecosystem. The whatever the product system process should be simple. That's I that's what I found. So what I mean is that TTX is not simple. It's an early stage. It's not simple. If even products, process, whatever, to my understanding. The other thing was the pathway is complicated so long. So they suck up your like financial resources, and even after that, actually, there is no guarantee you generate revenue. So my like a solution was there. Is there any solution? Is there any innovate way to shorten the pathway to including everything still, but how you can shorten the process, right? And then how you can make simple product. That's what I have focused on. And recently I work on a series of this one. This is not just delivered like some information, but actually I work with my business partner. So actually to innovate. And recently I filed a patent. I'm also preparing several patents. I'm going to implement actually. So what I'm now doing is first, I'm now developing the very simple platform to develop. For example, my idea is starting from that discuss with my daughter because my daughter is working in the Novartis as some like a drug discovery department division, and like he's like the uh, data scientist. Her major in biology and working in MIT and Harvard, but actually she working in the digital space. And then I talk about because my starting point to in digital health or digital therapeutics, and then I found that what happened that you have under your research, you have a very good idea that you wanna see that usually the digital therapeutics is like complementary to traditional drug discovery or the traditional therapy. So if you have some idea, then is there any way to simply test your idea to know whether you can have some your once you have a build up based on your idea that whether the product will be working, something like this. So I just starting the point and then whether I can develop the product. And I found some way, and then I'm now developing, and actually I'm going to file a patent my idea by the end of this month. This is one thing that I'm going to share my idea, the all in November webinar that I showed you before, that how I did to developing the simple platform to developing from your idea to develop a new like a digital product. Another thing was a pathway. That's why that I look at this FDA approval and then before that I look at clinical trial. Clinical trials, FDA approval, reimbursement is one process, and then whether there is a way, the smart way to decrease that period time complexity. That's one thing I'm looking at it. And then another thing was adoption, right? Because to be adopted, they should be adopted in the mainstream healthcare, the like workflow. So that's what actually we developed with my business partner and then this platform to make happen. And then we file a patent, and then we are discussing about how to actually implement this one. And another thing is actually this is why I did. For example, the one thing that this is the one traditional like the regular way to like regulatory pathway and the reimbursement. You need the negotiation and put into like a formulary and then put into EHR system and be included in the e-prescription system and something like that. This platform to simplify. So this is like implementing my idea how to make simplify and how to make them adopted, right? Because this is one effort that I'm trying to do. This is a starting point. I'm going to do this continuously. And another point is to how actually this process, the pathway through the commercialization can be shortened, right? So I'm developing some way actually the process integrate at the same time. So clinical trial, real and the clinical trial and compliance and real application, whether they can be like integrated in a smart way to be like a shorten your pathway. This is another thing that I've been heavily thinking about it. So, and then further DTX, actually, I'm very interested in that. I've looked at the whole space, and then I found that globally there are several thousand actually the startup in the companies working in the digital health, and there are like 1,000 healthcare product, even the like well-being product, tens of thousands. But still, I feel that they are not there in the mainstream healthcare. So mainstream healthcare means that everyday medical product practice healthcare like a process to include this health. So this is a starting. I'm thinking about to gather the like global like leaders, and then they will share the idea the how to actually make this happen enable. So this was one that actually that I tried to do. Okay, so I'm done. I tried to deliver a lot of the thing, but this is so important, so I just spent a lot of time. But I will share the presentation, so please look at it, and also like you will see the link to my video, and then what I'm doing. I want to contribute. I want to do something to innovation based on my experience and knowledge. And then I'm looking for the partners and then supporters to want to be in my venture. So please let me know if you have a good idea or insight and the comment, and I welcome all of you. Okay, thank you. So you have any question? Just share your insight or whatever. Actually, I will share the presentation and recording in my LinkedIn. So you have a comment, you can keep going on. If you have any better idea or you want to be collaborate with me, or you have like any insight, just please let me know. Right, so 1 minute more. So please, anyone to share something?
Great discussion.
Okay,
Great
yeah,
discussion.
Eric, yeah,
And I'm looking forward to joining again too. So, but I mean, great discussion and overview. Lot to unpack there, but great stuff.
thank you. Yeah. So actually, the Eric is one of the panelists in our like at the end of this month we'll have the panel discussion about how to make digital health as a mainstream. So he's one of the key member. So thank you. And then I for looking for your like insight in the webinar. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is
Absolutely.
there any comment? Okay, so thank you for attending today's webinar, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. I wanna hope to
Thank
see
you.
you in my next webinar. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.